Hey Spooniverse, thanks for tuning in to Mixology 101 with Anthony Caparelli, who's Director of Beverage Studies at the Institute of Culinary Education. And every week he will teach a new seasonal cocktail to yourself and me. So what are we doing today?
Well, I think there's a holiday this weekend or Monday or something.
I heard something about that.
Yeah,
right?
I keep seeing people running around.
Ghost, something.
Yeah, either scary or slutty. I don't know, something like that.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah, somewhere in between. Slutty, scary. So we're doing one. I love this. This is a pumpkin punch, and it's actually made in a pumpkin. Which I think is the greatest thing ever for Halloween parties.
Oh,
it's so easy. So I'm actually not going to do this. I'm going to have you do it. Because this is how complicated it is. Pour this in the pumpkin, pour that in the pumpkin. Okay?
First time's the charm, right?
Really, really easy. So what I want to do is maybe we'll take it just a little bit slower, because what I'd love people to do is to come back to this video right before you have your own Halloween party and just follow along with what you're doing and then rock this out for your guests.
Totally.
Now, the only thing...
Also, one last thing, if you have any questions, shoot them in the comments below and we'll answer them.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to start with a pumpkin, and I try and get a nice big pumpkin. Just remember, don't carve it, because it's going to be... But what I really like to do, you can see we got a little sticker on the front. What I like to do is paint it, draw some stuff on it. So whatever you would carve on it, you can decorate it up. You can like bedazzle it. I don't know, whatever you want to do, right?
Bedazzle pumpkins.
Yeah, bedazzle pumpkins. So whatever you want to do, you can like really trick out the pumpkin. So just carve it out, clean it out really good, get all the seeds out, and we're going to reserve the seeds and toast them, and then make sure you get all the goop out from the inside. Get as much of that stringy stuff out as possible. Cool?
Awesome. Yep.
All right. First thing. Now you can use any spirit in this. It's really whatever you want. Literally anything from vodka, which has almost no flavor, all the way to like, Islay Scotch whiskey, which has a lot of flavor and smoke. Whatever you want. We're going to go somewhere in between. We're going to go with an aged rum, but this is actually a light aged rum. So it's about 3 years, but it's still white. They filter the color back out. So go ahead and pour 1 liter right in there.
1
liter of the rum. Yep, that's a bottle. Yeah, a standard. So a standard bottle is either going to be 750 milliliters, which is 3/4 of a liter. That's actually what we're using because we have a smaller pumpkin, or 1 liter, depending on where you're shopping. Okay, so you just go ahead and pour that in.
All my dreams are coming true right now.
So the very first thing that's happening right now is all of that ethyl alcohol, which is the alcohol that we drink, as a solvent, is dissolving now all of that flavor from the pumpkin. So we're basically making pumpkin-infused rum at this very minute. That's the very first thing that's going on in there. Right, okay.
That's easy.
Cool. So now we're going to follow the standard recipes that we've been using for the last several weeks in terms of making a cocktail. We need to sweeten it, and then we need something to balance the sweetener, right? We've done this before. So we have some simple syrup, which is that last one right there.
Alrighty.
All right, and go ahead and put that in.
All
and
of that too?
Yep, that's about, you want to do about a pint of simple syrup for a liter of rum. And simple syrup, if you remember, is equal parts granulated sugar and hot water, and you don't need to heat it up. You can just use hot water from the tap, as long as you don't use more than equal parts sugar to water. So that's all we do.
It really is simple syrup.
Simple, right? Okay. Then we want to match the volume of simple syrup with fresh lemon juice, and that's what we have right there. So you can see I put them in the same container, exactly the same. And so now at this point, we have a delicious drink. We have something that meets the definition of a cocktail. We have a spirit, we have sugar, and we have sour or acid to balance it. Okay? But that's not going to be nearly enough for a punch.
Yeah.
So I want to add a couple more juices to lighten this up a little bit. We're going to use cranberry and apple for the fall. So go ahead and put about half of each of those in there.
All right. I'm going to do a double pour.
Go crazy. Now, this is not rocket science, folks. If you wanted a little...
It's really not.
No. If you wanted a little more alcoholic, you can use a little less juice. If you wanted a little less alcoholic, you can use a little more juice. It's all to the taste of your guest, all right? This is just to add some flavor, and it also adds some color. Now, we need to add some spices to this.
Yes.
So, I got a bunch of cool spices. First thing we're going to do is some nutmeg, and it's about a tablespoon of nutmeg is going to go right in there.
Oh, yeah.
Fabulous.
Love it.
Got it all?
Yep.
And then we have, now at this point you can do whatever you want. I've used allspice, whole cloves, but I'm going to use pumpkin spice. So about a tablespoon of pumpkin spice.
That's a choice that makes sense to me, absolutely.
Yep.
Kind of like a pie.
And some
cinnamon
sticks. Dump them all in there.
Of them.
Yeah, it's a punch. All this stuff is just going to sit in there and like marinate and just be delicious. Okay.
Amazing.
Now I want to add some fresh fruit, and we're going to do it 2 different ways. We're going to actually do fresh fruit, apples. So this is thinly sliced apples. The reason they're in this bowl is, apples turn brown like within a second and a half of cutting them. So the trick is to soak them in a little bit of fresh lemon juice. That's called acidulation. Whatever.
Science term.
Science term. And that will keep them from getting brown. You can see I cut these probably about half hour ago and they're still beautifully white.
They are.
And this is what you want for your punch. So go ahead and put that in there. Lovely.
All right.
So now smell that already.
Oh, it's super fragrant. It actually
Really good,
smells
right?
like an apple pumpkin pie.
That's what we're making, an apple pumpkin pie. Okay, now remember those pumpkin seeds that we removed?
Yes.
Good, that's going to go right in there.
Roast those.
And all we've done with these is we just spread them out on a baking tin and we bake them. Probably 350, lower heat, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Again, it's not rocket science. As long as you don't burn them, you're good to go. All right, so those are in there. Now, I need to add a little bit more liquid, and I want to add a little bit of fun to this. So we're going to use seltzer water.
All right.
Okay, so I want you to put, this is way more seltzer water than we need. I want you to only put maybe about a third of that in there. You're going to do between 1 and 2 cups of seltzer water, depending on the size of the pumpkin that you have. You can do a little bit more. Yeah, and that's going to add that dilution that we would normally get from shaking the drink, right? And also some bubbles, which are really festive for pumpkins.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead and stir that up really good.
Oh, this is definitely
looks good, right?
a punch. Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. So now we need to cool it down, and we're going to do that 2 ways. We're going to use ice, but we're also going to use frozen berries. So I want you to take, now that's
ice, but better.
Yeah, a mix of frozen berries. We have, I think, strawberries, blueberries, whatever. You can do frozen cherries, whatever you want.
Blackberry.
Every freezer has them in the grocery store. Go ahead and dump that in.
Guys?
Yup, can't have too much fruit in the punch.
Can't have too much frozen.
So now this chills the punch, but it also adds flavor and color. So it's doing a lot of work, these berries. And now the last thing we need is regular ice, because that's not going to be enough to actually cool the punch.
Okay.
So dump that whole thing in there, and that should take us right to the top. And lo and behold, we have our pumpkin punch. Give that another good stir. How's that looking to you?
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a scoop.
Full pumpkin.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, now that's probably going to be kind of difficult to pour into these wine glasses, but I like to class up my punches a little bit, serve them in. Yeah, you can go with regular punch glasses, but I mean, look at that. That's
beautiful.
Just way cooler, right?
The color is amazing.
Yeah, go ahead and make yourself a glass.
Whoop. It's also just really fun to pour.
Yeah, it is.
I want some pumpkin seeds. I want all these pumpkin
absolutely
seeds.
have to get some pumpkin seeds in there. So look how much we got going on in that glass. So we got fruit, we got seeds, we got spice, we got juice, we got alcohol, we got all that nice stuff being dissolved from the pumpkin wall. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Cheers. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
That works, right?
It tastes like what a summer punch would be in the fall.
And that's what we're going for. It should be fresh.
Awesome.
It should be crisp. You got all that nice lemon juice in there, so it's nice and bright, right? You're getting that. It's not too sweet. And you sub all of these fall flavors in there.
Yep.
Awesome.
And there's some boozy fruit in it. Who doesn't love that? It's like sangria. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.